rounds of racing left in the 2022 K&N Spring Fling Million, presented by Optima Batteries. And it comes down to 4 dragsters. The door cars have had their day. The dragsters are going to have their day. As Peeps Pennington and Jake Jones roll out of the water box, and a couple of very young, very talented racers with a whole lot ahead of them have already started to make big names for themselves. I mean, Peeps winning the million here a couple of years back. Jake racing his way here into the semifinals tonight. The team out of South Jordan, Utah, rolls up on the right side of the racetrack with a 4.62 second dial on the scoreboard. For Peeps Pennington, the dial is a 4.67 second predicted run. And so with a 500 difference, the tree will calculate it. We'll watch it drop. And one of the two will get the opportunity to come back and race for the $30,000 worth of FTI money on a Saturday. Come on, Saturday night in Vegas, under the lights, $30,000 on the line. Pre-stage bulbs are lit. Peeps going to be the first one to dive in and light up that bottom half of the LEDs. Jake is there, and here we go. 9 thousandths to split between them in reaction time, and it's going to be Pennington moving on to the final. 008 and 25 thou above the dial. 469 on the 467 for Peeps. Jake was 17 green, getting to the finish line first by 29 thousandths of a second to break out 13 thou, and it's going to be Pennington moving on. He pretty much, Pennington parked it. So Peeps awaits the winner of this pair. Jake having a great showing here to make his way into the semifinals. We'll find out, will it be Dennis or David? Is it going to be an all-Texas final on the last day of the event, or will the machine, David Meyer, be able to race his way into the game? 476 to a 468. The 68 belonging to Lithgow over on the left side. The 76 belonging to Meyer on the right. 18 thou separate them at this end of the racetrack, and the win light is going to belong to David Meyer. Look at this. David Meyer, last time down the racetrack, was trip zip perfect. David Meyer, this time down the racetrack, was trip zip perfect. And then goes 477 on a 476. Dennis Lithgow, 18 green and 471 on a 468. So it is going to be a Peeps Pennington and David Meyer matchup in the final round. You think Mike Eames is just a very, very perceptive individual. Just, I mean, overflowing with knowledge. When they came out with that Captain Obvious commercial, they called Mike first and said, hey, do you think this is going to work? Mike said, I think we can go for it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So Peeps Pennington and David Meyer are the last two individuals standing here at the 2022 K&N Spring Fling, presented by Optima Batteries. And we have got one final pair to go. For those of you that are watching kind of on the live feed, we've got some great videos. So if you don't have your phone up and aren't watching BANGshift right now, you're going to kind of want to see this. But before we get there, I know we want to leave plenty of time for those videos. Before we get there, I do want to say kind of a wrap-up, because once we run the final, we're going to be doing the winner's circle. We're going to be doing all of that kind of stuff. You know, it takes a lot to get an event like this set up. It takes a lot when you're talking about this kind of money, when you're talking about this kind of turnout. Again, we had, 561 entries on Thursday morning that entered into this thing. There's been so many cars that have come on property, so many teams that have come on property, so many folks have made the long trip out here to Vegas, so many from the West Coast have joined in here. But for the work that goes into this thing, I certainly want to say that I am 100% honored to be a part of this program. What Peter and Emily put together here, what was the brainchild of Peter and Kyle Seipel. And unfortunately, with the loss of Kyle, it was huge. I mean, Peter said it himself that, you know, when Kyle was diagnosed and when they knew everything was happening there and when it really got to the point that it was a reality that we were going to lose Kyle, Peter knew how difficult it was going to be to carry on. He knew how tough it was going to be to kind of assume that mantle that Kyle had, because Kyle would go out, he was the PR guy. I mean, he'd go out and, you know, kind of talk to the racers. He was the fix-it guy. He was the one that, you know, just basically his charm was able to work most things out. And, you know, Peter was kind of the business guy on the back end. He was making all of the stuff work behind the scenes, and he was out talking to the racers as well, but not quite on the same level. And when he had to assume that role as well, he knew how difficult it was going to be. But I'm going to put, I'm taking my hats off. My hat is off to Peter, to Emily, you know, Marco, Lela, to everybody that stepped up here and really made this thing happen. We've had a lot of really great folks that have come in here and have made this weekend possible. And for all of the work that went into the background, I mean, we've had some fantastic videos. Tom has come in here, put together some great shots. We've got all of the great social media that's going up. It takes a lot to make this happen, and I am honored to be a part of that team. So for everybody from the front gate, from parking to staging to just all of it, it takes a lot to make it happen, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Secondarily, for everybody here at LVMS, I mean, this is my regular home track, and I am super proud to be a part of that team as well. From our fire and safety team on the top to everybody down here on the starting line, it's a great crew, and I'm happy to be here each and every week to be a part of that as well. To my cohort in the announcer booth here, Mr. Mike Eames, as always, it is an absolute pleasure to work with you, sir. There is very few people on earth that make an announcer booth as enjoyable as you do. You keep a smile on your face no matter what's happening, and you're on top of your game. And it's an honor to work with you. But having said that, I do want to say to all of the racers that are out there, I know that several of you have headed home. I hope that you are still listening on the BANGshift live feed. We want to thank each and every one of you for making that trip. Because regardless of how much work goes into making something like this happen, it doesn't happen until the racers roll through the gate. And this weekend, this week, thank you to each and every one of you for coming out and being a part of this, for all of our Canadian racers who came down, to all of Team Mexico, everybody from all over the country. It just doesn't happen unless you show up. And my biggest honor is being able to sit up here and watch you race, watch you run, and see what you guys do on the racetrack, because it is absolutely magical. It's just watching some of these runs. I mean, Meyer just went like trip zip. It's amazing. It is really, really amazing. So thank you for letting me be a part of it. Thank you for everybody in the chat bleachers for letting me be a small part of your experience here. I'm glad that you guys are all out there, and I certainly look forward to seeing you guys at the next race. Unfortunately, my next race is not going to be Galat. I won't be able to make it there. The real job is going to keep me away. But you are going to be in great hands. Mike Eames is going to be out there. Steve Riggins is going to be out there. And trust me, those two are going to keep you very, very entertained. So I will miss you in Galat, but I certainly hope that you guys have a great time with everything else that's going on. So that's kind of my little spiel here before we get into the finals. I know Warren is kind of eating it, wanting to show these videos. But we've still got our Kyle Seipel Never Give Up Award that is going to be handed out here today, thanks to the folks at Ivy Head Golf Carts. This gorgeous crystal plaque is going to be handed out, this trophy, and we'll talk about that here in a little while. But again, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me be a part of your event, be a part of your weekend, and be a part of your experience. And I look forward to the next time that we all get together. The finals are back in the state, or in the pits, getting ready to go. We'll be after it soon. All right, Warren, I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. Thanks for giving me my moment. Roger Sauter rolling up out of the Super Pro category. Lucas Walker, the pro last man standing, raced their way into the final. And as we roll them up here into the water box, the Barracuda on the left side, the Camaro on the right side, and both scoreboards show 5.60 seconds. We're going essentially heads up in the final round for $30,000 worth of Silver State refrigeration money. Lucas Walker representing that Larice Motorsports Insurance Pro category. Lucas recentered, rolls up in the Camaro. 5-6-0. The number up on the scoreboard. The Barracuda versus the Camaro. Pre-stage bulbs are lit. Roger Sauter rolling up out of the Super Pro category. Lucas Walker, the pro last man standing, raced their way into the final. And as we roll them up here into the water box, the Barracuda on the left side, the Camaro on the right side, and both scoreboards show 5.60 seconds. We're going essentially heads up in the final round for $30,000 worth of Silver State refrigeration money. Lucas Walker representing that Larice Motorsports Insurance Pro category. Lucas recentered, rolls up in the Camaro. 5-6-0. The number up on the scoreboard. The Barracuda versus the Camaro. Pre-stage bulbs are lit. McGaysville, Virginia, represented by Lucas Walker on the right side. Sydney, Nebraska, represented by Roger Sauter on the left side. Walker is in and set. Sauter joins him on the starting line, and here we go. Red light start for Roger Sauter by 2 thousandths of a second. Win light goes to Lucas Walker. Walker 004 the reaction time and goes 5:57 on the 560 after Roger Sauter missed it by just a lousy 2 thousandths of a second. 5:59 on the 560 as Sauter finishes out the run. But the win light is on, and the last man standing out of the pro category picks up the win here tonight in the remix version of the Silver State Refrigeration $30,000 to win Wednesday.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your Wednesday $30,000 winner. It's Lucas Walker. Final round for Moser Engineering Thursday is moving into the water box. Gary Williams and Chris Whitfield. Gary for Team FTI. 481 is going to be the dial-in for Gary. The young man out of Florida alongside Chris Whitfield. For Go Fast Energy out of Colorado, $30,000. The trophy, the big check, the opportunity to call yourself a 2022 Spring Fling event winner. Tree and away. 3,000 was the difference on the starting line. Gary Williams, Chris Whitfield. Chris Whitfield, 10 green, dead on 1. To be 11 total, and the trophy is going to go to Colorado. Gary Williams was 007 up front, 482.5, and sent Chris Whitfield through, and Whitfield was dead on 1. to get the win. So congratulations to Chris Whitfield, our winner on Moser Engineering Thursday. The Go Fast Energy team out of Colorado taking home the win and $30,000.
I'm a little shaky right now. I can't believe it came up dead on one. I took a chunk at the strike, but honestly, I didn't know what he was doing over there. I was just trying to get to the number, and that one's a little tight, but I'll take it. There's nothing I won't take about that deal. He'll get tucked away.
Babe, you hold the doggy. Come on.
I got it. He's kind of a jerk. He won't bite, but he's
so cute.
Thank you.
He's got the little dog syndrome. Racers, let's hear it one more time for your champion on a Moser Engineering $30,000 to win Thursday, Mr. Chris Whitfield. The suite at the Cosmopolitan awaits. And one of these two, either Kevin Brannon or Spencer Massey, is going to add their name to the list that was started by Jeff Verdi, continued on by Luke Bugacki, Randall Reed, Peeps Pennington, Scotty Richardson, and Bo Butner, have all claimed the title of Spring Fling Million champion. The Showgirls, Jennifer and Greta, taking their position down there on the starting line as well. And we've got a Gaffney, South Carolina representation driving the Howmobile over on the left side. 460 is going to be the dial for the Rabbit. Kevin Brannon and Spencer Massey. Coming in the Nova out of Texas, the tree begins to drop. Spencer's down in at 647. Kevin's down in at 460. 5,000 separate them in reaction time, and the win light belongs to the Rabbit. Kevin Brannon on a double breakout. Kevin was 005 on the tree. Take 2,000 at the stripe to beat 2,000 under 459.8. On the 460, Spencer Massey was right behind him and ends up 5,000 under the dial. Massey with a 10,000 light breaks it out by 5,000, but Kevin Brannon, the Rabbit, is going to claim the victory and will become racer number 7 to etch his name on the wall of history here at the Spring Fling Million. The main event day comes to a close in a fantastic side-by-side drag race between the door cars and the dragsters. Kevin Brannon, Spencer Massey did not disappoint.
Kevin Brannon taking the win in a car that he had not been in until this morning.
Pretty cool.
After the first round, was talking to him in the staging lanes, and he's like, you know, I got a pretty good horse here. Kevin Brannon, yes, you do, and you rode it all the way to be the Million main event champion here in 2022, Nathan Hershey.
We are standing down here trackside. Kevin Brannon is putting on the champion's jacket, the 7th man to don the jacket here at the K&N Spring Fling Million, presented by Optima Batteries, surrounded by the Showgirls. The smiles on the face is like, dude, the big check, the Showgirls, the limo's waiting, the suite is waiting. Man, it's going to be a good afternoon. I'm going to slide in here, jump into a car you've never driven before. The day starts off really well and just ends on an even higher note, man. Tell me about your experience here today. How much does this mean to you?
Man, I can't. I just got to give all the glory to God and thank Brian, Mindy, and family for giving me the opportunity to drive this thing. I mean, they didn't know me and put their trust in me, and I can't thank them enough for giving me the opportunity.
Man, you have had a spectacular year already. Tell me, where does this win rank? You've got so many trophies on the shelf at home, but to be able to join an elite crew like this, what does this mean?
This one, with all the drama that went on, just to be able to do it and earn it all the way through, it's crazy. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say.
All right, hey, make some noise for your champion.
Well, Mike Eames, we've got 2 cars, and that is all that's left as we are getting ready to bring out our final pair that is going to be given it a go here. And is there like no audio again? Are we sure? Okay.
Yeah,
just
you're
wanted to
golden.
make sure. All right, just wanted
You're
to make
good.
sure. Because I know we've had that happen to us before here, and it's been a little odd. But here we go. Our final pair of cars, 2022 K&N Spring Fling Million, comes down to Peeps Pennington and David Meyer. So, what's up, Rooster? It's time. So with Peeps on the left side, dialed in at 469, and David Meyer known as the Machine, rolling up on the right side with a 476 dial. Again, it's going to come down to 7 hundredths of a second. Got to do my math right. It's late. So a 7 hundredths split. Peeps, who has been to the winner's circle before, a couple of years ago, here on Main Event Million Day, and now trying to take home a nice little $30,000 payday. But the guy who stands in his way is David Meyer, and this house is one that David is very familiar with as one of the big players in this part of the world. 476 to a 469. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. Just hold up. The last 2 rounds of competition, David Meyer has been trip zip perfect on the tree. This time, David was 009, goes 475 on a 475. Opposite side of the racetrack, Peeps Pennington put an exclamation mark on the Spring Fling Million by just putting up a perfect pass. Trip, zip, dead on zero. Peeps Pennington laid it down. Game over and $30,000 going home to Three Rivers, Texas. You see it on the board. 469 was the dial. 469.0 was the run, and the reaction time was all zeros. David Meyer put up a hell of a pass. 009, 475 on a 476. But Peeps was perfect, and perfection ruled the day. So congratulations, Peeps Pennington, picking up the $30,000 win. Oh, my. Oh, my. What a way to end the day. What a way to end the event. What a way to just put a period on it, Peeps. Perfection.
How often are we lacking of words?
For me, it happens often, but oh my goodness.
Just trip zeros. When the trip zeros showed up on our screen, and with Meyer going back-to-back in the previous 2 rounds being perfect, you thought it was something special.
Oh.
It was beyond special.
It well beyond special. I mean, Meyer rolling in here, perfect, and then Peeps puts up a perfect lap. That is amazing. All right, well, here's the deal. Mike Eames has grabbed the microphone. He is going to head downstairs. He is going to spend a little bit of time talking to Peeps Pennington because that is something that we definitely need to hear about. Dave Meyer, I mean, come on. 009, nailed it here in the final after 2 perfect reaction times. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going downstairs for a winner's circle celebration. It's come to this. For those of you that were joining us on the live feed, thank you so much for being part of this show. Again, racers, whether you're still on property, whether you're listening in online and are already headed home to wherever you may be, we certainly hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful, and very good Easter tomorrow. May you travel safe, and thank you again for coming down to spend time with us. We look forward to seeing all of you at Galat. We look forward to many more of these, and there are many more to come. So what a way to end it. Spectacular as always. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, on my behalf, this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say. Good night, be safe, and we'll see you soon. So I was just told that's not the last thing I was going to say. Hey, we're going to put out a final call. If you need to come up here and get your tabs closed, please do so now. We're going to get you up here into the tower. We need to get those tabs closed out. But we're going to get Peeps' car pulled over in front of the tower here. We're going to take some pictures back by the Optima trailer, but we're going to talk to Peeps in front of the tower. So Peeps, jump in that ride, get it pulled over here in front of the tower so we can get a very clear, and I mean very clear, understanding on the microphone. I'm still just, holy cow, amazing, amazing, amazing. So everybody have fun in Galat. I will not be able to join you there. Got the real job thing to do, but I definitely will be joining in the chat bleachers. Maybe I could win one of those Optima batteries. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. So as they get things squared away, again, thank you, racers. Have a good night. And again, final call. Need to get you up here to close out those tabs, get things worked out. And again, travel safe.
Down here in front of the tower at the Strip of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, wrapping up the K&N Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries. Like, me and Nathan Hershey were talking about it, like, perfect in the final. Perfect package in the final. Who does that? Peeps Pennington does that because he's a bad man. Tell us about that last lap.
Well, actually, the numbers just happened to work out. I slowed up in the semis quite a bit, so I was forced to just dial up and set for really good and take as little as I could, and I ended up dead on zero.
Set up to be really, dead on zero. How many perfect runs have you made in your life?
That was the third one.
And you picked a really good time to do it. These events are so hard to win. I want to go back to like the quarterfinals when you had Whitfield. Run us through that lap.
That was a good one. It could have gone either way, honestly. I had fourth out on him at the tree and took fourth out, and we were both dead on three. So that was I had a lot of good races today, but actually all weekend. That was a good one.
You know, you've won the million here. You've won so many races. You're always a threat to go the distance at every single race that you go to. This is such a marathon event. There's so many rounds of racing. You're double entered in a lot of places. How do you keep your mental focus to be on point when you're up there on all those many laps throughout the whole entire event?
Well, yesterday I got beat in a good race with 20-something cars left, and I was in a hole. So today I had to do my best to get out of the jam I had up at the tab there.
There's so many people that help you, the whole Pennington clan. Who do you want to think about this win today?
My dad, he got off the airplane, and he saw one round. Right when he got off the airplane, he turned the live feed on. I was 20 on the tree, and he sent a text that I had a lucky round. I needed to tune up. So he's a guy I got to give all the credit to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our winner in the most storybook of storybook endings, being perfect in the final, Peeps Pennington, takes home our final check of the week. Peeps, great job, and we'll see you down the road. We'll see you in Galat, right?
No.
No? Why not?
I got to go home and work, man.
Peeps Pennington, our champion today, getting it done. Perfect in the final. You're a bad dude. Good job.
Thank you, man.